So now we come to the last interview of this series. Every one of you knows him because he's the founder of the Build the Earth project. And yes, it's PippenFTS. Welcome.
Hey man, it's great to be here.
So, I prepared some questions for you, and may I just start? When you created the first video presenting the Build the Earth project, what reaction did you expect by the people before you even uploaded the video?
Well, first off, I was a little paranoid because there's a YouTuber, Half Asian Squat, and he does reviews on new mods and stuff. And this mod was relatively new, so I thought he might actually be doing a video on it. And so I was like, I've got to get it up for him. Long story short, he was never making a video on it, but generally what I thought was I was like, this is a really good idea. This video could do well. And by well, I mean, my most optimistic projections was something like 1, 2, 3 million views. Similar to, some other videos, 2 other videos that I'd gotten success in before. But, I never thought that it would hit 9 million views within the first couple weeks, and then, beyond, and it's almost at 12 million views now. I mean, it's kind of amazing. People keep coming back to it, and there's something incredible about it. My pace is a lot different now compared to that video, but, there's some moments in your life where you really experience something beyond yourself. And when I was making that video, I felt like I was sort of channeling something else. It was one of the most incredible weeks of my life.
Okay, so after that you got that many views and the number of participants got bigger and bigger, and the goal of recreating the Earth actually became reachable, what was your reaction on it?
Right from the start, we just started running into just sort of obstacles, and people are smart, much smarter than I am, and we're able to come up with solutions. But the thing is that the technology could not move fast enough compared to just the time that everyone had their eyeballs on the project and stuff. We came up with solutions, but we really didn't sort of start pumping out episodes of like building the Earth and stuff until many months later. And we had to solve the projection problem, which that alone took almost a month, and then everyone had to restart, sort of. So the thing is if I knew, we could have done so much more preparation before launching the video and stuff. But hindsight's 2020. You never know what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Yeah.
From my perspective, it could have been a dead video and no one would have cared.
Yeah. So you have quite a leading role in the project, right? So what was your task in the beginning of the project?
Well, the task in the beginning of the project was managing the Discord, which, more people just kept pouring in, and it was utter chaos. So, I mean, the first sort of couple months of the project, it really, really hurt my upload rate, but I really had to get sort of a self-sustaining staff team to manage the Discord and a team to manage the project. And once that was sort of able to come to fruition, then I was able to sort of focus back on my YouTube and upload again. But it's really, really difficult when you're faced with the proposition of a blowing up project like this to choose exactly what you need to focus on and determine what is the most sort of efficient path to success. What exactly do you devote your time on? And that's, I spend a really large proportion of each day sort of thinking about that, because that's one of the most important things you can think about when it comes to like investing your time in specific things. And I'm still not sure if I have the entire right answer, but I hope that I'm sort of moving in a direction that is efficient and upwards and like uphill and making progress on that. So now I sort of spend all my time on the videos and creating the videos, since that's what succeeded in the first place. And fortunately, there's a large demand for people to watch Building the Earth in Minecraft. People seem to really like to watch it on YouTube. So
yeah,
I'm fully dedicated at this point to creating those videos.
Okay, so you don't have any more tasks related to administration?
That's largely true. I'll chime in on specific things when it comes to administration, but for the most part, my role is just creating the videos, and the other admins sort of manage the staff and everything.
Okay, so as you creating the videos, you got already quite some interesting locations you built on, like North Korea, Singapore, now Iceland, and Antarctica. So how do you decide the locations?
Yeah, that's sort of really the crux. it's been hard to decide or try and think of what people might find interesting. More and more, I'm realizing that the things that I find interesting in my head are not necessarily what a general YouTube audience might find interesting. So I did North Korea. I thought that would really do well, and it did okay. And then I did Antarctica. I also thought that would do really well. That also did okay. And then I didn't really think Singapore would do really well, and it did amazing. It blew past all the other videos. And then Iceland, I started to gather the pattern. People don't like people on YouTube and everywhere. People don't like my locations, but people like all the other locations. So at this point, I've been thinking of locations to build, but more and more, I'm coming to the opinion that it might just be better to sort of leave it up to a Discord vote amongst the builders inside the Discord, because the project seems to be just more and more running away from me. And it's a privilege for me to make the videos, but even when it comes to location choice, I'm starting to feel like that's not even my place anymore, which is fine, because that just takes less stress to make decisions like that off of me.
Mm-hmm. So let us come back to the management part of the project. So how did you experience the work, coordination, and management of the BT staff team?
Yeah, well, that was just sort of an incremental progress of trial and error. You learn a lot about sort of the judgment that you make when you're looking to hire people or sort of recruit volunteers. It's really interesting because when you're assessing someone for a job, you're not able to know them. So you may inadvertently be making a mistake, and there's literally nothing that you can do to sort of shortcut that process. You have to know who the person is, and you can't know that in the first 5 minutes. You can't even know that in the first 5 days or 15 days. But you eventually get to know the person, and you know whether or not it was a mistake or not. But the great thing about having more time in the Build the Earth project was that you got to know people while they were in sort of other roles and stuff, and then you determine whether or not they'd be impressive or good at a different role. And that's sort of how we were able to build on the strength of the staff team to the point where I didn't need to devote time to it anymore to organize it and put people in specific roles.
Besides the YouTube videos, what do you think is your responsibility regarding your project in the future?
I'd say really just camaraderie and sort of participation. People look up to me as a leader and stuff, and what I decide to sort of do with that responsibility and the image and followers that I have, that's something that you have to think about, honestly. When it comes to what you do, when it comes to what you say, everyone's sort of looking at you, as the leader of the project, and you have to sort of just make a decision as to how you're going to conduct yourself within the project. So, and that has a massive mental effect on the people involved in it, and then that just snowballs outwards. So it's really sort of important to be the best person that you can be, and that's really what I focus on every single day. And more every single day, I'm realizing sort of my pitfalls and shortcomings, and that's been really, really apparent with this project. It's like, to keep current on the internet, you have to learn like thousands of things constantly just to keep up with everyone else. And people are still just totally outrunning me and outpacing me when it comes to that. And here I am, just this old like 30-year-old boomer, just trying to keep up with the technology, and it's just totally running away from me. And that's fine. That's why this project is run by multiple people, not just me.
Yeah, so this brings us to the last question. How far do you actually think we will come with this project? Do you think we can at one point finish it?
Well, we can obviously at one point finish it. The question is exactly how much time that's going to take. And the only way that a massive undertaking like this is ever going to be finished, or finished in a reasonable manner, is if we get more and more builders. And the problem is that we've seen in the last couple months is, and it was a good revelation. This was a good revelation to experience, but there is a demand for people to watch Build the Earth on YouTube. There have been recent successful videos on YouTube. There hasn't been just a complete downward trend. People want to watch Build the Earth on YouTube, but not a lot of people want to participate. So this is one of those rare points in the market where the supply is having trouble meeting the demand. So we need more builders, and if you think you can't do it, you can do it. But if we don't get sort of the massive amount of participation that we're hoping for, then it could take lifetimes to finish, because we're talking about thousands of cities, hundreds of thousands of skyscrapers, and then billions of houses in the suburbs. And even with millions of builders, that would be a insane challenge to attempt. But as it is, we have thousands. So there is a huge opportunity right now for anyone who's interested in building in Minecraft who wants to participate in this project, because everyone is very interested in this project on YouTube and they want to watch, but we have low participation rates. So that is sort of the thing that I would say to the general public, is that there is a lot of opportunity here if you're sort of looking to get into a good project with awesome people who work together really well, because we need help.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, thank you very much for the interview. Was glad you found time to answer the questions, and yeah, also I hope this was interesting for the viewers. So yeah, thank you again, and have a nice day.
Thanks a lot, Hunter.